Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here, and today I'm finally going to get the chance to go over one of those toys that I missed in 2012. That's right, today I'm going to be going over Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now remember how I talked about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the past and how I had never seen an episode of it in my life? Well, that was true up until some of the research I did a few days ago to finally get myself ready for this review. But originally I only knew about the Turtles from pop culture and internet references. It has been a successful franchise despite being a show about Chelonians experiencing adolescence, mutated by chemicals and trained in ninjutsu. It's sort of evidence that no matter how ridiculous an idea might sound on paper, that good writing and a great sense of humor can make it viable. It's the content and execution of a work, not just the idea, that makes it great. There were a whole bunch of shows inspired by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, such as Street Sharks and Road Rovers, some of which were better than others, and some of which were more recent than others. The story starts when a man named Hamato Yoshi, who, after losing everything in Japan, moves to New York to try to begin anew and evade his old rival, Oroku Saki, who is also known as the Shredder. However, Yoshi gets caught up in an incident with some alien robots called the Krang that causes him and his newly adopted baby turtles to be exposed to a chemical called mutagen, a chemical that causes whoever it spills on to gain the properties of a creature the victim recently had contact with. This gives Yoshi the features of a rat he had run across in the street, and the turtles gain human characteristics.
It was the mysterious substance in this canister that, in a way, gave birth to us all.
Mom!
Yoshi renames himself Splinter and raises the turtles as his children, teaching them the ways of ninjutsu. Several years later, when the turtles finally leave the sewers, they encounter the Krang once again and gain the notice of the Shredder. The main characters of the show are of course the turtles, and are color-coded for your convenience. We have Leonardo, the blue turtle.
Technically he's a tortoise.
Whatever. Who is the leader of the group and is generally an all-rounder. Donatello, who is the purple turtle.
Tortoise.
A turtle, actually.
And comes up with all the various gadgets that the turtles use in their fight against evil. Raphael, the red turtle.
Tortoise!
Okay, promise that's not gonna happen again. Who is one of the strongest fighters but is also very pugnacious and has a hot temper. And Michelangelo, the orange turtle, who knows how to have a good time and is kind of the goofy comic relief character. Splinter returns to his roots of the old cartoon of being both wise and random at the same time.
The first rule of being a ninja is do no harm. Unless you mean to do harm, then do lots of harm.
During their first big outing, they rescue a teenager named April O'Neil, whose father is kidnapped by the Krang. On the villainous side, we have the return of Krang after a long absence, who came and brought thousands of his buddies. Shredder is still in charge of the Foot Clan. However, Bebop and Rocksteady have been replaced by two new minions named Dog Pound and Fishface. Amongst other changes are that April is now a teenager rather than a news reporter, and we have so far seen no signs of Bebop, Rocksteady, or Casey Jones. But several other classic characters have shown up so far, including the Rat King, Baxter Stockman, and Leatherhead. The show uses computer-generated graphics, but it also uses a lot of techniques used in traditional animation, such as rapid facial changes or deformed objects when moving at high speed. It also uses a gritty chiaroscuro look which really suits the environment. The turtles have also been made more distinct with different body types and heights. The show returns a lot more to the formula of the original 80s cartoon, such as the turtles performing cliches and then pointing them out.
Still, it's stealthier than the real Donatello.
It's funny a lot of the times, but at some points it just gets to be too much. Otherwise, the show has plenty of action and benefits from not taking itself too seriously. It also makes many pop culture references.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Oh my!
So, they've been fighting mutants and ninjas. When will we get to see them fight teenagers and turtles? Of course, as is always seen with the Turtles, there is a matching toy line of action figures and toys that was one of the hottest properties last year. Even the Foot Ninja and April O'Neil figures sold like hotcakes. I managed to sneak a peek at a bunch of the new ones at Toy Fair, and you can consult some of my blog posts and Toy Fair videos to see more of them. Highlights include Bebop and Rocksteady, roleplay equipment for each turtle, and the massive sewer playset. Don't let the size of the box fool you. This thing is at least 4 feet tall. All these pictures you're seeing of it in action are not exaggerating anything. The basic action figures are about $9 and possess all the bells and whistles you would expect. The action figures of the Turtles have a great degree of flexibility, with all the major joints boasting a wide range of motion in all directions. They are fully posable at the shoulders, the elbows, the head, the thighs, and the feet, with some more flexibility at the wrists, which can rotate. Each turtle comes with their basic weapons and a sprue containing additional weapon forms and shurikens. With the figures being made of a softer plastic, the weapons wedge in and are gripped by the hands. The large feet make them stable as well, and the turtles can stand just fine on their own. There is also an assortment of vehicles the turtles can use, from a simple skateboard to the Shellraiser van. There's also a transforming pizza box and the aforementioned Empire State Building of playsets. Lately, there's been a gimmick using the mutagen ooze, which come in little tubes and are sort of a gack slime thing that contains one of the turtles in their base baby turtle form, armed with their little weapons. The gimmick involves throwing this slime around everywhere. I kinda question this move though. Since when has their enemies getting dumped in mutagen made things any easier? Also, the mutagen action figures don't have the wonderful flexibility of the basic ones. There are also some super large action figures that have all the amazing flexibility of the smaller figures and can store additional weapons in the back of their shells. And finally, of course, there is the Classics line, which features several classic characters from the 1980s show. Some more figures I was sent were these things called flingers, where the characters are armed with their weapons, and when they strafe across the table, they actually grab and throw their weapons, with Raphael throwing his sides over his shoulder and Leonardo throwing pizza lids that come out of his stomach. They work surprisingly well and are able to throw the weapons a good distance, but they don't have anywhere near the flexibility of the basic figures. So yeah, definitely the best thing in the toy line is the basic action figures, because they are highly posable and reasonably inexpensive. So that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a series that's been around for years and probably won't be leaving us anytime soon. Until next time, this is Kohdok signing off.